Hello weirdlings, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the 9K-111 Fagot, a Russian anti-tank weapon. More specifically, it is a second-generation, tube-launched, semi-automatic, command-to-line-of-sight, wire-guided anti-tank missile system. And this is not on the unusual articles page on Wikipedia, but it can be described as a Russian weapon with a name that raises eyebrows among English speakers. I don't really know where and when I first heard about this, but it exists. I've probably heard of it because of YouTube. For simplicity, I will be referring to it as either it or the 9K-111 for the rest of the video. And before anybody asks, Fagot is Russian for bassoon. And I will be honest with you, I didn't want to end up on any watch list, so I didn't do more research than was really necessary. As mentioned, the 9K-111 is an anti-tank weapon. It operates using semi-automatic command to line of sight or SACLOS and is wire guided. And to my understanding, this means that the operator must keep the target in their sights while guiding the missile to its destination via wires. It was developed by the Tula KBP Design Bureau for instrument building in the 1960s in Tula, Soviet Union, which is now Russia, and has been in service since its first production in 1970. It has seen action in many wars and conflicts, mostly in the Middle East, from the Vietnam War to the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. I'll cover the countries and other entities that have used it in a later segment. The missile itself weighs 28 pounds or 12.8 kilograms. With the 9P-135 launching post, it weighs a total of 50 pounds or 22.5 kilograms. The missile is 3 feet 7 inches or 1,100 millimeters and has a muzzle diameter of 4.7 inches or 120 millimeters. It has a firing rate of 3 rounds per minute and has a muzzle velocity of 80 meters per second or 178.9 miles an hour or 288 kilometers an hour, and has a flight speed of 186 meters per second or 416.1 miles per hour or 669.6 kilometers per hour. It has an effective firing range between 230 and 8,200 feet, or 70 and 2,500 meters. The missile uses a high explosive anti-tank, or heat, warhead that weighs 3.7 pounds, or 1.7 kilograms. As stated before, it was developed by Tula Machinery Design Bureau. It started development in 1962 as the next generation Skaglos anti-tank guided missile and a man-portable tank destroyer. It was developed alongside the M113 Konkurs, pretty much only differing in size, and it entered service in 1970. The anti-tank platoon of a Soviet motor rifle battalion equipped with BTRs typically consisted of 2 ATGM squads, each with 2 9K-111 teams. Each team was made up of 3 men, a gunner who carried the 9P-135 launcher and a tripod as a backpack, and 2 men each carrying 2 launch tubes. All 3 team members were also armed with assault rifles. In addition to the 4 missiles carried by each team, the squad typically had an additional 8 missiles stored in their transport vehicle, which again is usually a BTR. The 9K can be deployed from the BMP-1P, BMD-1P, BTRD, and the UAZ-469, which for all intents and purposes is a Soviet Jeep. North Korea acquired several of these systems likely due to their close relationship with Russia, likely between the late 80s and 2000s. These systems were then reverse engineered and designated as the Bullseye-2. A North Korean proxy company, Glowcom, marketed the system under the name 8T-4MLB. The missile is stored and carried in a container/launch tube. You know, you don't want a missile just bouncing around in a military vehicle. It is fired from a 9P-135 launcher post, and it is fired from a 9P-135 launcher post fitted with a 9S-451 guidance box. The missile sits just above the guidance box, and its sight is mounted to the left side from the gunner's point of view. The complete launcher system weighs about 50 pounds or 22.5 kilograms. The gunner fires from a prone position, which means he's lying on his stomach. The system can engage moving targets traveling at speeds under 37 miles or 60 kilometers per hour. The launcher post can swivel 360 degrees horizontally and 20 degrees up and down. The sight has a 10x magnification and a 5-degree field of view. The system uses a gas generator to propel the missile out of the launch tube, with gas exiting the rear of the tube. The missile initially leaves the tube at 80 meters per second and is then boosted to 186 meters per second by its solid fuel motor. This speed reduces the missile's dead zone, allowing it to be launched directly at the target rather than in upward arc. The gunner, or launcher, tracks the position of an infrared bulb on the back of the missile relative to the target and sends commands via a thin wire that trails behind it. This is where I would list the variants, but I have no idea how to make sense of any of this information. However, I will still list every operator that has ever used the system, starting with its current operators. We have Algeria, Azerbaijan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Belarus, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cuba, Ethiopia, Georgia, Greece, Hungary, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Libya, Moldova, Montenegro, Mozambique, North Korea as the Bullseye-2, Romania with the 9M111-2, Russia with the 9K111M Factoria used by Army units, and the 9K111 Fagot by airborne units. We also have Serbia, Slovakia, Syria, Turkmenistan, Ukraine, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam. For former operators, we have Angola, the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic, East Germany, Germany as a whole, Finland, India, Iraq, Lithuania, Poland, Slovenia, the Soviet Union, and Yugoslavia. And non-state actors include the Free Syrian Army, Hamas, which uses the Bullseye-2, the Islamic State, that's ISIS, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, and the Polisario Front. And that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you can tell, I'm not an expert on weapons. Apologies for the delay in uploading. I've been busy with work. The next video will cover the 11-foot-8 bridge, also known as the Norfolk Southern Grayson Street Overpass in Durham, North Carolina. I'm not sure when that'll be out, but it will be out eventually. Anyway, see you then. Also, that video will be well more researched than this one, don't worry.